TV presents a great way to spread the Sunnah. Have a Sunnah attitude. In the Holy Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in chapter 33 verse 21, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, لَقَدْ كَانَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةً حَسَنًا, that ye indeed in the Messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala a beautiful pattern of conduct. Join us for our 100,000 t-shirt drive. For more details or to place an order, contact Al-Hikmat services at 1-800-804-0267, or you can visit us on our website at www.alhikmattv.com. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We're praying Salah, right? Where you see brothers and brothers fighting for money and property. Sisters, brothers, fathers, children. Look at our Prophet ﷺ. 1400 years ago he said, I don't fear that you guys will do shirk, assign partners to Allah. But my fear is you will envy your brother and your sister for worldly things. When they have these worldly accomplishments, you will envy it.
Assalamu alaikum. Allah gives hikmat, wisdom, to whomsoever He wills. And whomsoever is given wisdom is certainly given a lot of good. Only the people of understanding will benefit from the reminder. Tune in to Al-Hikmat TV for khutbahs, lectures, and Islamic reminders. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Due to the negative propaganda against the Quran and the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it has become imperative upon us to spread the message of the Quran, inshallah. Therefore, Al-Hikmat kindly requests your support to pledge and sponsor 100,000 Quran drives on CDs. Join us sponsoring Qur'ans on CDs for free distribution fi sabilillah for Muslims and non-Muslims worldwide. You can also sponsor on behalf of family members and relatives that have passed away as Sadaqah Jariyah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We're praying Salah, right? Where you see brothers and brothers fighting for money and property. Sisters, brothers, fathers, children. Look at our Prophet ﷺ. 1400 years ago he said, I don't fear that you guys will do shirk, assign partners to Allah. But my fear is you will envy your brother and your sister for worldly things. When they have these worldly accomplishments, you will envy it.
Assalamu alaikum. Allah gives hikmat, wisdom, to whomsoever He wills. And whomsoever is given wisdom is certainly given a lot of good. Only the people of understanding will benefit from the reminder. Tune in to Al-Hikmat TV for khutbahs, lectures, and Islamic reminders. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allah is the creator of different faces. Allah is the creator. Allah, Allahu, 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 Allah. Allahu, 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 Allah. All praises are due to Allahu, Allah. All praises are due to Allahu, Allah. Allahu, 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 Allah. Allahu.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If you would like to dedicate copies of one of these publications as Sadaqah Jariyah, continuous blessings for your parents or dear ones who have passed away, or fi sabilillah, in the path of Allah, please give us a call so we can place your names on these dedicated publications. You can call us at 954-986-0158, or you can also visit us at www.alhikmat.com.
Allah is the creator of different faces. Allah is the creator of all races. Allahu, 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 Allah.
Wafiq Transport Limited. Contact 715-6463 or 673-0152. Located at 86 Orenfield Road, Karapi, Chima. Services include vacuum, septic services, sock pile, sand gravel, etc., trailers, heavy equipment for sale such as flatbeds, drop decks, container trailers, and lots more.
Southern Hatcheries Limited. Suppliers of both live and processed broiler chickens. Parts available in both tray packs and case bags to suit your needs. Leg and thighs, wings, liver and gizzard. Also suppliers of both live and processed ducks. All meats strictly halal. Visit us at 440 Komodo Road, Barrackport. Or call us at 654-3938 or 361-08.
Ya Nabi, Salam Alayka, Ya Habib.
Bounty Kings, Bounty Castles presents brand new luxury castles for all events. You can contact us at telephone number 749-4342, or you can also email us at bountykings1@gmail.com. A-Class Glamour presents to you wholesaling and retailing of premium lines of cosmetics for all skin types, designer jewelry, and many accessories. Brands include ColourPop, Maybelline, Revlon Professional, Urban Decay, Sephora, and many more. To get a hold of these products, you can call Sadiq Khan at 345-5824 or Amira Khan at 759-6089. You can also visit our Facebook page at A-Class Glamour to follow for newly released lines of products.
सदक़े में आका सारे जहां को दीन मिला बेदीनों ने कलमा पढ़ा ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह तेरे सदक़े में आका सारे जहां को दीन मिला बेदीनों ने कलमा पढ़ा ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह.
If you'd like to advertise or be a sponsor of this show, please contact Al-Hikmat office. Telephone number 1954-986-0158 or 1-868-325-8276. Or you can email us at alhikmat@alhikmat.com.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Who is Who on Al-Hikmat TV 24/7 online. It is indeed a pleasure and a blessing, of course, to have with us in Al-Hikmat studio Pastor Keith Spencer. He is the pastor at the Lutheran Trinity Church in Pembroke Pines. Welcome to the show, Pastor.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
And it's always, I consider, an honor, an opportunity for us to get together, to talk, to discuss, and there are so many things we can talk about. But for viewers worldwide, we would like to let them know a little more about yourself. So how many years now have you been the pastor at the Lutheran Trinity Church? So if I say only Lutheran, am I in correct context, or do I have to say Lutheran Trinity Church?
No, well, Trinity is the name of the church, and we are a Lutheran church. That's our denomination, our brand of Christianity, and Lutheran is our church's name here in Pembroke Pines. So, and I've been there for 17 years.
Wow! But are you originally from Pembroke Pines?
No,
Florida?
I grew up in New York, and I served in the Navy and traveled all over the world as part of that. And then once I left the Navy, I went to seminary and then became a pastor and was called down here. So I've been here ever since.
So you're a typical Yankee guy from New York.
Well, my wife says she can hear my accent. I'm not sure.
Oh my goodness!
But I've lived down here for a long time now.
Good. So other than being the pastor here at Trinity Lutheran Church, because we're going to get into that and your activities, but with your experience in traveling all over the world, what do you recommend and what do you suggest, and what are your views as an experienced person, traveled throughout the world, lived in New York, North, South? with the present situation in the world, with religion, race, you know, a lot of people use religion to create hate, to create disunity, to build walls. What are your suggestions and what are your view on that?
For me, I think that the traveling I was able to do points out something that's very important. I think the more that we can get out of our own neighborhoods, right, and the area that's familiar and the people who we know, the more that we can reach and learn new cultures. And so much we base on assumptions, right, about different areas in the country, different places in the world, you know, people who are different from us. And in our own ignorance, we allow the fear of difference, right, to build those kinds of walls. And what drives so much of the issues that we face here and are the sense of fear of the unknown, right? And I think that's what at least my travels, I was able to meet with people from many different cultures, right, and different faiths and different traditions. And when it comes down to it, you begin to discover common humanity, and you begin to learn to set aside the assumptions that you make about people because of the place where they were born, or if you were raised in a very homogeneous area, right? If I was raised in a very middle-class white neighborhood, and so I didn't have as much of an opportunity to see people from other cultures and other traditions and other races. And so we need to allow people to take advantage of exchange and travel and be among people who are different from them.
So do you think it's really because of lack of experience, lack of knowledge of other cultures and other people and other nations and other tribes, if I want to put it like that? Do you think that's one of the reasons why people in the world, and I mean, especially in America, you know, I mean, it's not only in America, it's all over the world. It's all over the world. But because America is so big and America got all this people from all over the world, you know, you have that tendency of people wanted to live by themselves and they're scared of others and they move out or they move in. And then I have another concept where I see people using religion to build walls.
Yeah, and I think that's part of it. You know, I think one is that we insulate ourselves, right? America is a big country, and so people can be comfortable, they can live where they want, and so they can live among people who are just like themselves, right? And surround themselves with people who are like-minded culturally, ethnically, religiously.
You made a good point there, Pastor. The geographical settings of America, and I think a lot of people don't understand that. The geographical settings is so vast that a person can go into seclusion, whereas in some other countries, the cities are limited, the housing developments are limited, so you are forced to live in a community. Know people, meet people, walk with people, whereas here, you can live in a village by yourself, miles away from anybody else, drive out to work and drive back and meet nobody.
So correct. That's one of the isolating issues that can breed misunderstanding and fear. And you raise another point where religion can play a role to exacerbate that fear and isolation, right? So religion can be a force for good, or religion can be a force that reinforces the worst of ourselves, right? That reinforces our fear, that plays to our own internal misunderstanding of other people. And so not only can people choose where to live, but then they can they can shop around for a church or some other religious institution that does not challenge their own views but reinforces them. And that's part of the freedom that we have in this country is that freedom to choose. But in choosing, if we go to our worser nature, we're just choosing to be reinforced in our own views rather than being stretched to see something different.
And I like that point because that's something people need to understand. And with your experience and your vision there, people searching for a church and a place or a location that suits their own understanding and their views, while that may be very healthy for their own culture, it's sort of bad for humanity. I mean, healthy, fun, joy. Nobody says no. Meet your culture, meet your people, your same language. That's all well and good. But when it comes to using that as an opportunity for seclusion and separation to other people, I think that's very dangerous.
Yeah, I think part of our Christian tradition is a sense of being called out. Right? People look at Christianity as a religion of comfort, right? That when we are afraid or when we are broken or we feel wounded by life, that we look at Christianity to speak a word of comfort to us, that everything is okay. But at the same time, our Christian tradition is also one of a prophetic religion, a religion that looks at the status quo and calls into question our assumptions and about how we view the world and calls us out to see things differently. And so if people only, from a Christian perspective, and as a Christian I can speak best to that, when we look to worship in a place that is only speaking words of comfort to us rather than challenging us, enabling us to grow deeper into our understanding of God's greater worldview, of God's much greater wisdom than we ourselves possess. If we're not being called out and challenged, then our assumptions only become reinforced and about other people, and I think that's for us from our tradition, that we always try to balance, hold in tension the word of comfort and the word of challenge, right? That we see our faith and our scripture always bringing a dual word, right?
Yes.
That word
yes.
of comfort and that word of challenge.
And I think that's the problem with most people who are involved in religion or in religious activities and from different religions. Unfortunately, they use the religion for their own views and own agenda and selfishness. It's not only about Muslims or Christians or Jews. I think other religions do that.
The world's history, right, is...
Maybe I want to correct, not religion, but other people use religion for that.
Correct. I think the world's history is scattered with so much blood that has been shed in the name of religion. I mean, on a global scale, every religion can be manipulated by the worser parts of human nature because it's a very powerful force in our lives.
Yes.
Right?
So that brings us to the question, Pastor, not to cut you, but as you're answering that, do you think? I know you. I don't think that you think so, but I want to hear your views so that our viewers worldwide on Al-Hikmat TV can benefit, because this show is being seen worldwide, especially with social network nowadays and the social media.
What would you like to say to our audience about that misconception where people say that religion has contributed to most of the wars and bloodshed in the world?
Well, when I look at the wars and the bloodshed in the world, and I'm a student of history, what contributes to it, I think most, is the misuse of power, right? There are economic factors always at work. There are economic factors in terms of who benefits from war, right, economically, either from a business perspective or in terms of groups of people, right? If the religion becomes a tool in the wrong hands to be exploited, you know, I'm a very pro-religious person. I don't think religion is a neutral force. I think it's a force for good in the world. I think that religion enables us to become more fully the people who God delights in, right? And who God wants us to be. In the name of religion, people have done just amazing things. Lives have been changed as forces of good. I think people whose hearts are set upon dominating others, right?
So it's all about the people who misinterpret and who use the scriptures, because God has established religion over the times and the years for the betterment of human beings, humanity, to guide them, send prophets and messengers to lead that pathway. But as you rightly said,
indeed,
arrogant people with ego and also who are full of themselves and their own political, personal agenda, they misuse the scriptures and the religion at large to create wars and bloodshed and build walls.
Indeed, when you look at the faiths, right, of Christianity and Islam and Judaism and the others, the primary tenets of those faiths are mercy and compassion, right, and kindness and generosity. None of the tenets of those religions are of hatred and fear. Those are the fruits of people who want to use religion to their own evil ends, right? And so religion is the most powerful force for good and for bringing humanity together that exists.
And unfortunately, people use religion to separate.
Well, for them, it just becomes another tool to manipulate. Obviously, because I think as human beings, our hearts are designed and thirst for faith, right? For the mystery that is God, right?
Yes.
For the depth, and so people who are students of human nature then exploit our love for God. They can exploit that then to build walls, to divide people, to stoke, instead of stoking the love of our common and shared humanity, they use it then to break people apart. Religion, and people look at religion and they want to paint it in the colors of those who choose to manipulate through it, rather than seeing the amazing forces of compassion that take place and the global generosity. You know, people people of faith do not brag about the goodness that they do. I think all of our faiths, and correct me if I'm wrong, but all of our faiths, we seek to do acts of kindness and compassion, and not so that we are noticed ourselves, not so that we are lifted up among our peers, but we do them from our love of God.
Of course.
And God,
And that's the whole purpose.
Right, and so we do not brag of our own goodness. That's the direct opposite of what motivates us to do these acts of mercy and charity and kindness.
Yes.
And so these do not gather the attention that the acts of fear gather, because the nature of fear is you want to spread the fear. It's like a disease.
Yes.
But we do kindness out of our own quietness, out of the simple living of our lives.
And for the pleasure of God.
And exactly,
Which
for
is
the
a
pleasure
priority.
of God. And I see this as, this is a vast majority of how religious people choose to live their lives, but it gathers none of the attention.
Yes.
And yet it is these forces that build our humanity and make the world such a better place.
Yes. You know, it reminds me how the media operates. I mean, unfortunately, that's probably the style of journalism in the media world, where, you know, the hate and the confusion and the controversial issues make the news in the political arena, but the good things in religion and the good people and the good activities that happen among people of different religions and in the religious world, that does not necessarily, it may just be a couple seconds if there is some reason behind it. But it's how Satan operates. However, Pastor, we have already been speaking for 20 minutes plus, and we got to go on a short break, and when we come back, we want to continue the conversation a little bit on your suggestion and your recommendation to people of other religions, not just Christianity and Islam and Muslims and Christians and Jews, because, you know, our show again is viewed by people of various religions all over the world. You know, motivating people to use religion, to unite people, to bring people together, not just your membership, not just people of your religion, but on a general basis in encouraging other people to come together. And then a little bit we want to talk when we come back from the short break on, you know, a little bit of your perspective of Muslims and Islam in the second in the second episode. So we have been talking to Pastor Keith Spencer, who is the official pastor at the Trinity Lutheran Church in Pembroke Pines for over 17 years. It has been a pleasure talking to him. And when we come back, we will continue the conversation. Thank you very much. The time just goes. We went for more than 20 minutes, which was good.
Wafiq Transport Limited. Contact 715-6463 or 673-0152. Located at 86 Orenfield Road, Carapy, Chima. Services include vacuum, septic services, sock pile, sand gravel, etc., trailers, heavy equipment for sale such as flatbeds, drop decks, container trailers, and lots more.
Southern Hatcheries Limited. Suppliers of both live and processed broiler chickens. Parts available in both tray packs and case bags to suit your needs. Leg and thighs, wings, liver and gizzard. Also suppliers of both live and processed ducks. All meats strictly halal. Visit us at 440 Komodo Road, Barrackport. Or call us at 654-3938 or 361-08.
Ya Nabi, Salam Alayka, Ya Habib.
Bouncy Kings Bouncy Castles presents brand new luxury castles for all events. You can contact us at telephone number 749-4342, or you can also email us at bouncykings1@gmail.com. A-Class Glamour presents to you wholesaling and retailing of premium lines of cosmetics for all skin types, designer jewelry, and many accessories. Brands include ColourPop, Maybelline, Revlon Professional, Urban Decay, Sephora, and many more. To get a hold of these products, you can call Sadiq Khan at 345-5824 or Amira Khan at 759-6089. You can also visit our Facebook page at A-Class Glamour to follow for newly released lines of products.
सदक़े में आका सारे जहां को दीन मिला बेदीनों ने कलमा पढ़ा ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह तेरे सदक़े में आका सारे जहां को दीन मिला बेदीनों ने कलमा पढ़ा ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह.
If you'd like to advertise or be a sponsor of this show, please contact Al-Hikmat office. Telephone number 1954-986-0158 or 1-868-325-8276. Or you can email us at alhikmat@alhikmat.com.
America on Al-Hikmat TV, 24/7 online. And again, it's a pleasure to have with us in Al-Hikmat studio, Pastor Keith Spencer, the pastor at Trinity Lutheran Church in Pembroke Pines, Florida. So, Pastor, we have been discussing a very interesting issue around religion and race and people, because that's a very important issue. You know, it's all about humanity and the world, and the globe has become so small with social media nowadays. Sure. So that's why I sort of like to move out from just the interfaith dialogue thing. I think it's more about reaching out to humanity. So before we get on building more bridges, and I know bridges are being built between Christians and Muslims in America, before we get into that, what is your take or suggestion to our viewers worldwide on using religion, whatever religion we're from, and looking at the commonalities, the areas of uniting together, the areas of bringing communities together? What you?
I think that's a great point. That I think the only way that we can build a kind of a counter narrative to the narrative of fear and difference is by bringing people together to sit down around a meal, to sit down around conversation and discussion of those things that we celebrate together. It's like the opportunities that we took to bring our congregations and some other folks together last Thanksgiving, right? And,
yes.
and Thanksgiving, we talk about as a holiday. Here you had two very different groups of people, right? Historically, you had the Native Americans and you had the Pilgrims, and they came together to celebrate. Very different, obviously, different religions, different races, but they came together to celebrate their common humanity, what they were able to achieve together, and to give honor to God, right? Who had blessed their relationship together. So we had this great conversation to talk about what it means to do charity, to give for the other, and from a Christian perspective and from a Muslim perspective, and to speak from Islam of what it means to be generous. We spoke a lot about generosity. And so by having tables, mixed tables of people from different religious and ethnic backgrounds shared together to talk about incidents of generosity and how that speaks to their own life, those conversations help break down barriers that people, it speaks to, wow, in my Christian faith, leads us to be a generous people, and as a and the folks who spoke that you brought that spoke of their own lives and how generosity was such an important part, a pillar of Islam, right? To speak to that. Once we get people around a table, all of a sudden we are all children of God, right? Around the table we are one shared humanity trying to live in a world and to be forces of good together.
And I think that's a good point. We should use, or people from different religions should use occasions like Thanksgiving, which is so neutral, which is an interesting commonality or common ground in the United States of America, to bring people together, to eat together, to pray together, to thank God, and bottom line, to unite and get to know one another.
Indeed.
We should use every opportunity like that.
Yeah, I would hope that whatever religion people are practicing, meals tend to be such a central part of faith communities.
Yes,
they
food.
just do. We all love to eat, right? But
that's why there's a famous saying: "The way to a man's heart is through his stomach." Right?
Indeed. Indeed, but to see opportunities for meals as shared times of fellowship, and what I like about our times together is we tend to bring themes to them that allow people to begin that initial conversation. We give them something to hook into with their own humanity that enables them to find common ground more quickly. And any time that we can, and some of the shared projects that we've done together, it's not just conversation, but when we did the paintings, and we did the paintings of our understanding of what it means to love our neighbor.
Yes.
And so we all kind of added those symbols of our love for neighbor on these canvases, and by each person kind of building on that canvas, we constructed together the visual representations of fellowship, right? So it wasn't individual projects. These were group projects, but it was different kinds of Christians and Muslims all together creating this art, this living art.
I like that vision of yours, and I must say on Al-Hikmat TV, again, a special thanks to you and your congregation when you brought some of your congregants and members to Darul Uloom Islamic Institute on our Friday prayer, our main Friday congregational service, and it was Christmas Day.
Yes.
It was a Christmas Day. I mean, that is so unique that you brought Christians on their holy day of Christianity to a mosque, and you guys brought a plant. You brought this plant, you remember?
Oh, the peace lily, right.
Yes, and you presented that also to show your love and your working relationship with your Muslim neighbors. And that's the point I'm getting at. You know, we're not just speaking theory here. We're talking action. You know, we talk about walk the talk, you know what I mean? And that's what you did on your major day of Christmas. I mean, I was really amazed. You shocked me when you said you were coming across and you brought your people. That's a day your people celebrate with your own people and have your own fun. And you took a couple hours off to come. I mean, that was very commendable.
Well, you know, our own Holy Scriptures tell us to not just be hearers of the word, but to be doers.
Yes.
Right, to be doers of the word. So it's one thing to be able to hear the word, and it's another thing to be able to speak the word. But the heart of the word is embodied, to embody the word, to live the word. If you just hear it and it's not resonating in changing your life. And so Christmas Day, when we brought the peace lily, was at a very trying time for Muslims worldwide.
Yes,
and we wanted to very specifically bring a peace lily as a symbol. We wanted to come and to sit in on your worship. We brought that long chart of everyone in our congregation had committed to praying for peace between Christians and Muslims for our entire Christmas week. And we had all the different, in our congregation that people committed to, and they signed their name, and they made that effort to say, I'm going to pray for Christian Muslim relations this entire week of Christmas, when everyone's traditionally, it's about feasting and celebrating and family, but to be able to commit people to focus on Jesus for us coming into the world, it's the Prince of Peace, right? It's not about war and destruction, but it's about the bringing together of people. And for we wanted to reach out to our friends at Darulum in order to be more intentional in our own actions, in our prayer and our other work.
I think that was so dynamic. That created a very powerful impression. I mean, especially on your holy day, I must say, and you came across on our Sabbath day, and that did create a big bond of relationship. And with the time you did that. And that's the point we are making, Pastor. That other religions, I don't care, it could be Buddhists, Hindus, Baptists, Lutheran, Roman Catholic, Jews, whoever, they should use opportunities, occasions. I mean, I'm not saying you should wait for an occasion and to do it, but we should use that opportunity, if we do not, to bring people together, bring our faith people together with other people, because at the end of the day, we are all human beings, and it's a humanity thing to do. We live together, we do business together, we go to school together, we do everything together in the world. The world has become so small. People are communicating with each other all over the world, from China to India, to the east, the west, the north, and the south. You travel in an aircraft, it's people from all over the world, Russia, America, China. So we don't want to be in our own little box. And I like the point you made. Religion and religious people are the ones to bring people together. We cannot depend on politicians to do it. Politicians got their own gains, their own political gains, their position, and we give them credit for what they have to do. They got their job, they got their responsibility. So I really commend you on that point. That's fantastic, and I hope our viewers pay heed to that. But my next point is, as we conclude in the program, we got a couple of minutes to talk about this, 10 minutes or so. What would you tell our viewers about, working relationship with Muslims and Christians, and how many commonalities we have amongst ourselves, and why we need to work together? Because we have a history of a family background.
Well, and I think that the deep example of that is we can go back to 9/11. Right? We can go back to in the aftermath of 9/11, you gathered together religious leaders from all kinds of faiths. And we came to speak to both the pain of that situation, but also to speak on behalf of our different religious faiths as a sign of unity and support, that this is not us, and that we know that was not Islam.
Yes.
And that we are together, and that the bond of our shared humanity and love and affection for one another in faith was stronger than the forces that were seeking to use that incident to tear us apart. And I look at the ways in which you've reached out to us for your Eid to come and speak from an interfaith perspective on Abraham, and to show that the roots of our faith come from that common ground. And the opportunities that you've had here to bring us to interfaith prayer meetings, and for us as Christians, we understand well that all religions can be used by others for manipulation for their own purposes.
Yes.
Christianity has a bloody history of allowing that to happen, to either inspire people to harm or to inspire people to do nothing in the face of evil. And we know that many other religions are stirred by those that tend to use religion as a force to separate. But we know as Christians that the more that we are able to gather together with our brothers and sisters, and we've seen what it's meant for our congregation to spend time with the people of Darulum. You know,
Yes.
when what we walk away from those shared experiences richer in our own faith and as richer citizens of the world.
Of course.
And what a gift it is that we have intentionally looked at our calendars and sought to set time apart because of the importance of that. The importance of looking and setting time apart from our busy lives of doing our religious stuff to understand that there is a much deeper part of our individual religions in allowing time for us to gather together. That God uses that time
Of course.
as holy time.
Yes. Before we conclude,
Yes.
Pastor, what would you tell our viewers and our non-Muslim viewers especially, from your perspective, those who sort of tarnish Islam and all Muslims as terrorists because of the actions of a few people? I mean, we agree, and I agree, that there are bad people in the world from all different religions and all walk of life, and you got bad people in the Muslim world who commit crime and murder in the name of Islam, whether it's Al-Qaeda, it's ISIS, it's whatever they use for their own personal agenda. But the problem that I want you to address in just a few minutes as we conclude is, what would you tell, as a non-Muslim, as a pastor, a man with your experience, those who misunderstand and tarnish the whole Islam and the whole Muslim world as a bunch of terrorists?
Well, I'd tell them they're wrong.
Huh? I like that.
You have to kind of get cut to the chase. I tell them they're wrong. And from a Christian perspective, I would say that to tarnish a people in such a way, from a Christian perspective, is sin. Right? That it's rejecting our own Christian understanding of what it means that we're all children of God, of what it means to love our neighbor, what it means to be compassionate and to not to judge. As a Christian, it would be the height of arrogance for me to look at another religion and to tar all the people and say, this particular bad person or small group of people, they speak for the whole faith, when the religion itself, like Islam, speaks to charity, to kindness, to the love and neighborliness, that what we are allowing ourselves to do is to allow our own fear of the unknown to manipulate us into the worst part of ourselves and to draw us away from the heart of our own Christian faith.
So actually you're saying for people to think like that and to tarnish all Muslims and the religion as all terrorists, and that's contrary to the beliefs of Christianity.
Absolutely. That's pure sin.
Yeah.
And it's an ignorance of our own standing in the world as Christians, where we ourselves have been subject to so much judgment when people hear the word of Christian, to tarnish all Christians for the life of and actions of a few. We should know better, we Christians. We should know better than to judge an entire religion or an entire people on the actions of a few. When we fail in that, we are forgetting our own history, and we are forgetting the nature and heart of the God we follow.
Definitely. Well, Pastor, it has really been a pleasure to have you on this show, Who is Who in America, on Al-Hikmat TV, which is 24/7 online. And I really enjoy the conversation with you on this show because, and I'm sure our viewers worldwide would definitely enjoy it because it was very wide on not using religion to promote hate.
Indeed.
And not using religion to build walls and barriers and separation between people. But at the end of the day, our discussion was based on using religion to bring people together. And we should not use our ignorance and lack of ignorance to tarnish people and think bad of people. And this is a worldwide message. And as we said, the social media, the world has become much smaller. And this is the kind of message we need the world to know. And I really thank you very much for being our guest on this show, Who is Who in America. And it's people like you, we need to pass that message on, throughout everyone in the world and in America. And we hope that this message will reach there. And we're just trying our best on Al-Hikmat TV, whatever and wherever it reaches. People do give us a lot of feedback on comments, and I'm sure your comments will reach very far and wide. So thank you very much again for being here with us on the show, Pastor Keith Spencer. And we have been speaking with Pastor Keith Spencer, the pastor for the past 17 years at Trinity Lutheran Church in Pembroke Pines, Florida, USA. Thank you very much for viewing, and stay tuned all the time to Al-Hikmat TV, 24/7 online. Assalamu alaikum.
We're praying Salah, right? Well, you see brothers and brothers fighting for money and property. Sisters, brothers, fathers, children. Look at our Prophet ﷺ. 1400 years ago, he said, I don't fear that you guys will do shirk, assign partners to Allah. But my fear is you will envy your brother and your sister for worldly things. When they have these worldly accomplishments, you will envy it.
Assalamu alaikum. Allah gives hikmat, wisdom, to whomsoever He wills. And whomsoever is given wisdom is certainly given a lot of good. Only the people of understanding will benefit from the reminder. Tune in to Al-Hikmat TV for khutbahs, lectures, and Islamic reminders. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allah is the creator of different faces. Allah is the creator. Allah, Allahu, 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 Allah. Allahu, 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 Allah. All praises are due to Allahu, Allah. All praises are due to Allahu, Allah. Allahu, 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 Allah. Allahu.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If you would like to dedicate copies of one of these publications as Sadaqah Jariyah, continuous blessings for your parents or dear ones who have passed away, or fi sabilillah, in the path of Allah, please give us a call so we can place your names on these dedicated publications. You can call us at 954-986-0158, or you can also visit us at www.alhikmat.com.
Allah is the creator of different faces. Allah is the creator of all races. Allahu, 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 Allah.
We're praying Salah, right? Well, you see brothers and brothers fighting for money and property. Sisters, brothers, fathers, children. Look at our Prophet ﷺ. 1400 years ago, he said, I don't fear that you guys will do shirk, assign partners to Allah. But my fear is you will envy your brother and your sister for worldly things. When they have these worldly accomplishments, you will envy it.
Assalamu alaikum. Allah gives hikmat, wisdom, to whomsoever He wills. And whomsoever is given wisdom is certainly given a lot of good. Only the people of understanding will benefit from the reminder. Tune in to Al-Hikmat TV for khutbahs, lectures, and Islamic reminders. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Due to the negative propaganda against the Quran and the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it has become imperative upon us to spread the message of the Quran, inshallah. Therefore, Al-Hikmat kindly requests your support to pledge and sponsor 100,000 Quran drives on CDs. Join us sponsoring Qur'ans on CDs for free distribution fi sabilillah for Muslims and non-Muslims worldwide. You can also sponsor on behalf of family members and relatives that have passed away as Sadaqah Jariyah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wafiq Transport Limited. Contact 715-6463 or 673-0152. Located at 86 Orenfield Road, Karapi, Chima. Services include vacuum, septic services, sock pile, sand gravel, etc., trailers, heavy equipment for sale such as flatbeds, drop decks, container trailers, and lots more.
Southern Hatcheries Limited. Suppliers of both live and processed broiler chickens. Parts available in both tray packs and case bags to suit your needs. Leg and thighs, wings, liver and gizzard. Also suppliers of both live and processed ducks. All meats strictly halal. Visit us at 440 Komodo Road, Barrackport. Or call us at 654-3938 or 361-08.
Ya Nabi, Salam Alayka, Ya Habib.
Bouncy Kings, Bouncy Castles presents brand new luxury castles for all events. You can contact us at telephone number 749-4342, or you can also email us at bouncykings1@gmail.com. A-Class Glamour presents to you wholesaling and retailing of premium lines of cosmetics for all skin types, designer jewelry, and many accessories. Brands include ColourPop, Maybelline, Revlon Professional, Urban Decay, Sephora, and many more. To get a hold of these products, you can call Sadiq Khan at 345-5824 or Amira Khan at 759-6089. You can also visit our Facebook page at A-Class Glamour to follow for newly released lines of products.
सदक़े में आका सारे जहां को दीन मिला बेदीनों ने कलमा पढ़ा ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह तेरे सदक़े में आका सारे जहां को दीन मिला बेदीनों ने कलमा पढ़ा ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह.
If you'd like to advertise or be a sponsor of this show, please contact Al-Hikmat office. Telephone number 1954-986-0158 or 1-868-325-8276. Or you can email us at alhikmat@alhikmat.com.
Truly he is the one, he has no father or son.